Motion comes Ingram, the tight end. ETN the back. Lawrence, here comes Colt. Campbell. Perez Campbell comes through with a big time. Achane. And that is in a touchdown. 1-yard touchdown run by Devon Achane. Back in the pistol. Ingle to block in the middle. Time for Tua, winding up, going. He's got Waddle. Here he goes. It's a foot race. Cisco gets him from behind. Oh, he can fly. Big time connection of 62 yards.
But then ultimately Howland watch with that left fist. Punches right on the ball.
What a play by Miami's defense. Recovered in the end zone, 20. It goes back, first and 10 to a tunnel by Law. Armstead the block, and he's going deep. He's caught Hill. Foot race. Driving. That is 6. Oh, he's a ghost. 80-yard touchdown. Look out. Another sack. Jalen Phillips this time. Third Miami sack. And the kick is up, and it's going to be good from 52. Miami zeros on the clock, has won on a game-winning 52-yard field goal.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Dolphin Chronicles. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty hyped up after that video. Well done to the super producer Byron for putting that together. If that doesn't get you hyped up, Dolphin fans, I don't know what else will. Yes, it is a victory Monday for our Miami Dolphins. This is the Dolphin Chronicles presented by the Kendall Sports Network. I am Johnny Cruz. I am here with Byron and Alex. Gentlemen, how was your weekend? How did you enjoy that roller coaster of a ride that we had yesterday afternoon?
I tell you, man, it took us a little bit to get going. I said a few choice words in that first half in my buddy's house, and I wasn't even drinking. I was just drinking water and eating burgers, bro. But yeah, it was at the end of the day, we made it happen. I expended a lot of energy. I was completely tapped out come like 3 PM. I probably took a good little nap before catching some of the other action. Let's be honest, a lot of these games were freaking snooze fests. But yeah, it was a great weekend, man. Victory Monday. It's good to have Victory Monday back on the schedule, man. I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm right there with you, man. 2-0 on the weekend. Canes blew the doors off of FAMU. Yeah. And then I'm with Alex. I was WTFing. I'll tell you everything I said a little bit later on when we go over that game. But I don't know, a flip. Well, according to Tyreke, Hawaiian Tua came out. And that's what what flipped the switch in the second half, thankfully.
His Hawaiian accent.
Yeah, I'm anxious. I'm anxious to get a taste of that Hawaiian Tua in a press conference or something like that. Hopefully we don't need that type of hyping up to get us going in the second half of games. But yeah, it was definitely an up and down game. It was heart-wrenching towards the end because I'm not even gonna front. Like I couldn't even watch. I'm not even gonna front. I couldn't even watch the Jason Sanders field goal because I watched the first one and he kicked it a mile wide left,
Yes.
So I went out
like,
to
oh my
smoke a
God,
cigarette
what?
during the second field goal, and I was like, I'm just not going to watch and see what happens. And
Bro,
I didn't watch the second one, so he made it. So
I
I
thought he had
purposely,
slipped. I thought like a sudden hurricane
bro,
came through like the
yo,
freaking
because
through
it
like
was
Hard Rock.
bro, that was a horrendous miss. So the third one, I was literally standing in my kitchen, just facing the wall. And my son, shout out to my son Jonathan, was here, and I was just like, I can't even watch. And then I just heard the eruption, and my son John started cheering, so I knew he made it, but I couldn't even watch Jason Sanders. That's how much he had me stressed out yesterday. But nevertheless, we are 1-0. And we got, the game 2 is in, 72 hours or whatever the hell in less than 4 days. So we get to go up against the Buffalo Bills, who had themselves quite a week, quite a day yesterday as well. We're gonna do a quick overview of all this week 1's matchups and games there. So we'll go ahead and start it off with the opening ceremonies of the week 1 of the 2024 season. The Chiefs against the Ravens last Thursday night. It was a very crazy ending. Lamar showed why he is a tremendous athlete, a tremendous runner, but he can't hit the wide side of a barn because he had opportunities to hit open guys and missed them. But there was a bit of a crazy ending to that. You guys' quick thoughts on Chiefs, Ravens, and the Chiefs starting out 1-0.
And it's the Chiefs, bro. I mean, their quest for a three-peat. What can I say? Those guys always find a way to win, man. They always find a way to turn it up. I mean, they always look at Xavier Worthy, bro. I mean, they always find that one dude and make him shine. If it's not Pacheco, if it's not Clyde Edwards-Helaire, it's Xavier Worthy. If it's not even who was their backup tight end that even looked really good? It wasn't Kelsey.
Some Clay kid or something like that.
Noah Gray wasn't something like that.
Yeah, but he got paid. He got
paid. But I'm saying, I mean, these names that are otherwise not household names, and you got Patrick Mahomes making these guys, just making them look so good, and that's what Patrick Mahomes is able to do. And when you have a guy like that under center, you're never counted out. I like what I saw from Isaiah Likely. It might be the passing of the torch. Mark Andrews didn't do shit. Isaiah Likely is their big play guy downfield. Big body, big play guy. He made several big plays. One he didn't cut. If he would have cut his toenails or had a half a size shorter shoe, they would have. They might have won the game, or they would have. I think they said they were going to go for 2.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool and exciting to watch, but
but nonetheless, man, both those teams showed us that those are going to be teams that are going to be competing for a number 1 seed and for a deep playoff run late in the year. Those two guys those two teams are what we thought they were.
Byron, a quick thought on the Chiefs Ravens.
From what I heard, Lamar was not trying to throw that to Zay Flowers. I don't know why, according to him. And for someone who cares nothing about football, my fiance came out, looked at the toe, and said, "Oh my God, I would have cut my toe to get that touchdown." Right. Like, I would have worn half a size shoe shorter, just like Alex said. So Amazing way to kick it off at just hell of a game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The Chiefs, win that game 27-20. And I, as far as Lamar Jackson saying that he wasn't throwing it to Zay Flowers, there was no other Baltimore Raven in the picture. So I don't know who the hell you were trying to throw it to, but
he said it was Rashad Bateman. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I digress. We move on to Friday's game in Brazil, where the Packers faced against the Eagles. This was another crazy game. That field was horrendous over there.
Yeah,
you were saying there was a lot of guys slipping around, a lot of guys having to change out their cleats and stuff like that during that game. But the Philadelphia Eagles prevailed 34-29. Another crazy game there. Jordan Love took a bit of a hit towards the end of that game. There was some fear that he dislocated his knee. I woke up
4 weeks.
I woke up Saturday hearing all kinds of stuff about a dislocated knee, torn ACL, torn MCL. Like, I mean, I thought homeboy lost his leg the way that people were talking. It turns out, thank goodness, that it's just an MCL strain. So he may just be out for a few weeks. But your guys' thoughts on the Friday night game in Brazil, Packers-Eagles?
Man, I'm just glad that that everyone came out safe. I mean, there was a lot of safety concerns about going over there to Brazil. You can appreciate what the NFL is trying to do, expand the game and go internationally. And Brazil was somewhere we hadn't been before. So I'm glad that there was a lot of scare before the game. I'm glad that everyone was safe. From what I understand, there were no incidents or anything like that. But holy shit, the revitalization of Saquon Barkley, man. I mean, certainly he feels, that team can be a force, man. With AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, those guys can be pretty freaking scary. So I'm just glad that I'm not in their fucking division.
Yeah, good job, New York Giants. Byron, your thoughts?
I have, which by all accounts, Jameis Winston starting for the Browns. Remember that? That was my first hot take.
Yeah.
That after week 1 looks like an amazing take.
It looks like a great one.
I have Jordan Travis starting for the Jets at the end of the season. And book it. Sirianni doesn't last the season.
Wow.
Sirianni can. So you don't think he's gonna maximize that talent?
AJ can look great. I think Sirianni doesn't last the season, and the Cowboys may win the division because the Eagles won't do it. But if I have a dark horse in that division, is them boys that went to Tampa and played Baker, because they may, by the end of that season, they may be challenging the Cowboys for that division.
Wow, that's quite a hot take, because Philly looked pretty good, man. I'm kind of with Alex with the Saquon thing there. I'm not the biggest Jalen Hurts fan, but they got talent all over that field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. Man, I'm not a fan of that tush push bullshit either. Jalen Hurts kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I mean, he thinks he's like, he's got like God's gift of freaking football, and the way he acts, kind of, I don't know. It's like borderline, like, oh, he's a stand-up guy, and he's kind of sapingo too. So that's kind of like the vibe that I get from him. But bro, there's no denying it. That team is scary. Byron, why do you think?
Yeah, do you see them just falling off a cliff? I mean, I don't understand.
I'm gonna give you one name as to why I think it's a powder keg waiting to explode. You ready? Kellen Moore. I don't think his offense is beneficial for Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts, you saw that first half, was absolutely atrocious. And I feel that Jalen Hurts in that second half said, you know what, bro? If I'm going to go down, it's going to go down my way. And you saw what happened in that second half. But Alex knows he's in Texas, he's in Dallas.
Yeah.
That Kellen Moore offense is trash. And I think that tension blows up and it all goes haywire.
Really?
That's just me. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's, that's going to be interesting to see. We'll get to the Dallas game and what they did, and obviously the Bucks and the Commanders as well. The next game we got on our list here is Steelers Falcons. This was this was a low scoring battle here. Steelers win the game 18-10.
That's a nice
Steelers just always find a way to freaking win the game. Russ is hurt and inactive. But only Russell Wilson, even being inactive, would be on the sideline with shoulder pads on. Like, bro.
Unlimited.
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, how schmug and just, like, douchebag is that? You know what I'm saying?
He even had the eye black on, bro.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if he started to put it on and somebody was like, bro. Hey, it's bad enough you got shoulder pads on. Don't put the eye black on. You know what I'm saying? But Sierra, talk to your man, yo. So anyway, Justin Fields got the start there. Not the greatest of stats, but he played well. You say ran the ball well. And again, the Steelers find a way to win. Kirk Cousins got paid again and did not look good for Atlanta. What do you guys think about Steelers 18-10 over the Atlanta Falcons?
Well, we did have a Kyle Pitts sighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts found pay dirt, guys. Kyle Pitts found the end zone. For those fantasy owners that have hung on, maybe have him in a dynasty league, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go with Kyle."
I pulled the trade of a lifetime with him.
Yeah. 3 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown for Mr. Pitts.
I know, not a whole lot, but hey, that just seemed like
better than Mark Andrews.
Guys. I don't think I'm concerned. The offenses like league wide looked kind of shaky, right?
Preseason.
Yes, of course. That's because a lot of people chose not to play their starters in the preseason. And if they did, they played one fucking series maybe. So that's what happens, right? It takes a little bit to get going. Look what happened to our beloved Finns. It took a freaking Hawaiian Tua during halftime to light a fire under their ass. And for even Tyreke said we were timid. We were coming out of the huddle like we uncertain. And then finally, something happened in the second half. And you started seeing the flow and the chemistry. I think that's league wide. I'm not concerned about Kirk Cousins. I think that Atlanta team is going to be fine. I think Drake London is going to be a lot more involved. That's another great receiver there. So I'm not concerned. Let's remember that Steelers defense is still a very stout defense. Okay, very well coached. Football team, so I'm not surprised. The Steelers are always going to be a problem. They're just such a well-managed organization. However, wherever the pieces are put, they're going to find a way to put their players in positions to succeed. So that it's a week one type game where shit just wasn't, lining up just right, and they had to, work extra hard for everything else. But yeah, I don't know. That quarterback situation in Pittsburgh is really, really weird. You got two guys that can be really, really good or really, really bad. It's almost like no in between,
Right.
So we'll see. And then George Pickens had a great game.
Yeah.
Pickens had a good game. So that's another guy that they'll learn how to use even more and even better throughout the year. So I'm not worried about either of those teams. I think they'll both do well in their respective divisions.
All right. Byron?
I think Kirk is just preseason rust, and as long as Fields keeps winning, unlimited won't see the field.
Well, at least he'll be able to wear his shoulder pads on the sideline. So there you go, Russ.
You got both those guys for like peanuts, right?
Right. Shut pads. You remember when you were a kid, they bought you those shoulder pads? Yeah.
When do they tell Russ, bro, don't even come out on the field. Just sit up in the booth.
Well, they're paying him $1.2 million, so whatever, they can eat that.
Right. But I'm just saying, like, how are you going to be inactive
and
have shoulder pads on, bro?
Wilson's career as we know it? Is he done? Is this the end of Russell Wilson's career? Is he done? Or can he reinvent himself somewhere else?
No, he's a forever backup, in my opinion. If he wants to play, and be a backup, I'll pay him $1 million to come down to South Beach and back up Tua.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I mean, whatever, fucking Russ.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm kind of with both of you guys as far as the offensive struggles. I get it. It was kind of wacky for all the teams. I talked about it on other shows that week one is one of the hardest weeks to kind of predict. You know what I'm saying, as far as like outcomes and stuff like that. Like, we'll get to it in a little bit, but I lost the suicide pool week one. You know what I'm saying? So
we were talking about that.
And I'm sure a lot of people did the same thing with the same game. But we'll get to it in a second. This game this next game was uber exciting. And I'm not going to front, bro. I was like pounding the table hard, hoping that the Arizona Cardinals would be able to pull it out.
Man. Me too.
They had a nice lead on them. They were fighting with the Buffalo Bills. But Josh Allen did some Josh Allen stuff. And for as much as Dolphin fans want to hate on Josh Allen, he is a top 5 quarterback, whether you like it or not. He's a stud. He makes plays. Yes, he's going to make the occasional horrible pick and boneheaded play. But ultimately, you know what I'm saying, he makes a lot more good plays than he does bad. And they came all the way back to win that game 34-28 over Arizona. Mac Hollins, our old boy Mac Hollins with a touchdown in
I
that
love me
game.
some
So
Mac Collins, bro.
it was quite a battle for the Cardinals. Props to them
Hey,
for putting up a hell of a fight. That makes
was
you
Mac
wonder,
Collins
you
the
know, say because we
recipient of the
gotta
Ryan
because I
Fitzpatrick no look pass?
yeah right
That's him, right?
because don't we go to Arizona?
Yes.
No, Arizona comes here.
Oh, Arizona comes here. Okay.
October
Okay.
27th.
Well, all right. So I feel a little bit better about that, but we're gonna have to be ready to play Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Because they look like they're gonna be ready to put up a fight. At least they did week 1. We'll see what happens in week 2. They can completely, tank, you know what I'm saying, and fall the other way. Marvin Harrison Jr. only having 1 catch for 4 yards was a bit weird.
Yeah. I was gonna.
But overall, that was probably one of the more exciting games of the day. Byron, I'll hit you first since Alex already commented a little bit on it. What were your thoughts about the Cardinals putting a big ass scare? Boy, there was some tight ass buttholes in Buffalo. You know what I'm saying, yesterday. So, what are your thoughts on that game?
Not gonna lie, they had us in the first half. That's it.
Yeah, they did. They sure had him.
That's it. That's all I got, bro. Not gonna lie, they had us in the first half, and then the bill, Josh Allen came to life. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, look, I see Josh Allen having to make more of those plays this year with less weapons offensively. Let's be honest. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that against the better defenses. I don't know where Arizona ranked last year as far as overall team defense, but clearly, I mean, Allen is a guy that can do that. But now you see that he's having to do more shit off script. Because you don't have a Gabe Davis, you don't have a Stephon Diggs, you're missing those guys. So I don't know. Maybe that's a testament to what we're Buffalo may be in a lot of dogfights this year because of that, right? But you mentioned it, Johnny. A guy like a Josh Allen can keep you in those games.
Right.
But that's nothing. I don't want to take anything away from either of those teams. I think Arizona is also going to be pretty competitive in that NFC West. They have some weapons. The James Conner who scored. This guy is a good back. He's a bruiser. He runs hard. If he stays healthy, that's going to be important for Arizona. Marvin Harrison, they're going to continue to use him, obviously, and hopefully he gets some more targets, some more receptions. But that's a guy that you can't exclude. You have to account for that type of talent. Kyler Murray, he's gonna, if he stays healthy, he's gonna be one of the guys that we can create, that can create off script. So.
Yeah, Kyler is always going to be a threat with those wheels of his. And he does have a good arm. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're there. McBride, the tight end, is a good young tight end that they got there in Arizona as well. Yes, so they got a few pieces there, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, they came ready to battle yesterday. So props to them for putting up a good fight. And if you remember last year, they battled in a lot of games last year as well. So props to their young head coach there who's got his team prepared to at least battle. Buffalo just did what they had to do to come back and win that game. Speaking of comebacks, the Titans and the Bears, Tennessee was up 17-0. Shout out to my boy, Mr. First Down, Sam Dean, big time Titans fan. Was at the game, of course. He's got season tickets there. I'm getting all kinds of texts on our thread when they're up 17-0, and that shit went silent quick. Once Chicago started to make their comeback. The craziest part of that is that the Chicago Bears had 0 offensive points, but yet somehow put up 24 on the board. A lot of it was gifted by one Will Levis, the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans. So Will Levis will give and he will also take away. You know what I'm saying? So not the greatest of games for Caleb Williams in his first start. I think he 14 of 29. He only had 93 yards. So it was a complete crazy ass game right there. But hey, Chicago winds up 1-0. Tennessee Titans 0-1. Do you guys got anything to share about the Chicago Bears scoring 24 points with no offensive points at all? Like that's wild to me, bro.
That's unheard of.
Right.
I got under 50% passing for Caleb Williams, and I'll put it to you this way on my thoughts of Caleb Williams. I had the number 2 pick in a dynasty draft. First pick was Marvin Harrison Jr. I took Jaden Daniels.
That I like Jaden Daniels too. I'm with you on that. I like that kid.
I don't think Caleb Williams is gonna succeed in the NFL.
It's gonna. We're gonna have to wait and see on that.
Yeah,
I never got all the hype that he got in college. Yeah, he saying he's got a good arm, and saying off script he can make some plays, but again, that's college. In the NFL, where you're gonna have to read defenses and make plays like that, is he able to do that? I'm not quite sure yet. He didn't show many signs of that yesterday, and again, that was against a Titans team at home in Chicago. So I mean, saying it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there going forward with Caleb Williams. But I'm with you. I'm a big time Jaden Daniels fan. I like that kid a lot. I would have taken him honestly. Number 1, but I don't think Chicago had much of a choice. There was just too much hype for Caleb Williams for Chicago to pass him up. But we'll see what happens with them going forward. We go on to our next game. This was another one. Hey, this is the one that lost me. Okay, go ahead with your Chicago.
I want to talk about that Titans-Bears game a little bit. Byron, I think you're right. As of right now, obviously Jaden Daniels is one up on Caleb Williams. I still do think Caleb Williams, obviously there's adjustment to the speed of the game. All that you got to factor in. I still think he's going to be successful in the league. I wouldn't classify him as a bust just yet. Okay, this guy is not a Jamarcus Russell. He's not a Ryan Leaf or anything like that. I mean, I just think he had the wrong nail polish on that game. If he changes his nail polish and starts fucking finding his weapons and utilizing his weapons, then we'll see. But you know what? I like his attitude. I do like his attitude. He said, "Hey, I don't care about stats. We won the game. Yes, your special teams and your defense win you the fucking game. But let's be honest. I think he's got the right mentality. I think he's got the right approach. Is he around the right coaching staff? I don't know, but it's inevitable to just dismiss the Keenan Allens, the Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift. They got a lot of weapons on offense, and I think he's going to be able to figure that out. Okay.
You want to know why I don't think he's going to succeed?
Okay, go ahead, hit me with it.
I don't think he's ever going to be able to be on time. I think his footwork is too sloppy for him to be on time.
There's coaches for that.
I was about to say if it's something like that, that's coachable. I'm with Alex on that. I mean, I'm not trying to call the kid a bust. I prefer Daniels in my opinion. Just as far as like upside, I think he has an opportunity to be special. I think Caleb Williams could be a good quarterback, and Chicago did a really good job. You mentioned all the players on Chicago, like they put a squad around Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Not like they did to Justin Fields. They didn't give Justin Fields shit. But they stacked this team up for Caleb Williams to be successful. You can't call anybody up. I don't think Byron was calling him a bust. I just don't think Byron's a fan. I just don't think Byron's a fan.
I know you like Jaden Daniels. You're an SEC guy.
You know who I'm going to equate him to?
Huh?
You know who I'm going to equate him to?
Who, Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels?
Caleb Williams.
Go ahead.
Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence is not an elite quarterback because his footwork is trash and he's late on things. And it's the same thing with Caleb Williams. I think he can be, like Johnny said,
He looked really solid against us in the first half until we decided to turn it up a notch and wake the fuck up.
Well,
for a subpar quarterback. He's also getting a hell of a bag too.
You made him move. And what do you need to do to be a successful quarterback? If they make you move, you got to do what to your feet?
You got to reset your feet.
Thank you, Johnny. And that's where sloppiness comes in. Scripted dropbacks, that's coachable. Resetting your feet when you get moved, that's different. Right. That's why I don't think the success comes.
That's where guys struggle because they trust their arms too much in those situations where they think they can just get it done with just their arm. where if they just reset their feet, they'll be able to put more behind it and make better throws. So I hear Byron on that. I hear both arguments. Like I said, we'll have to see. It was only week 1 for the young man. But now we go to the game that destroyed a lot of people's suicide pools. It definitely destroyed mine. I picked the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the supposedly going to be the worst team in football this year, the New England Patriots.
The United States picked the Bengals over the Patriots.
Yeah, and I originally was going to take Chicago over Tennessee, but I was like, I'm worried about going with Chicago. I was like, Cincinnati got to beat the Patriots. No, the Patriots said no. Shout out to Gerard Mayo. Props to him for getting his first win. Yeah. Not only his first win, but he gets a road win at that. Yeah. The Bengals just could not get anything going. They tend to get off to slow starts anyway, but this was like an embarrassment in my opinion. To lose like this to a Patriots team that is undermanned, but they were definitely prepared and ready to play. So again, props to Jared Mayo for having his guys ready. You guys' thoughts on what had to be the upset of the week. The New England Patriots 16-10 in Cincinnati beating the Bengals.
Yeah. Wow. That was.
Yeah, that's how I felt yesterday when when I realized I'm out of that league.
Just goes to show you, man. Any given Sunday, right? I mean, that Bengals team is loaded with some talent. The Patriots forced a huge turnover there. It looked like was that our boy Gesicki about to cross pay dirt, and then
it got taken away. I don't remember why, but it got taken away.
Oh no, that wasn't the fumble though. That wasn't the fumble. It
was the play before the fumble.
Okay, so hey, you got to give props. We're credited. You got to give credit where credit is due. The Patriots defense came to play, despite the Bengals not really showing much. There was no Jamar. Jamar Chase was non-existent. I don't know what.
Higgins didn't play.
Higgins didn't play. What did Zach Moss? How did their running game do? Was it non-existent?
Zach Moss was 9 for 44. Joe Burrow ran the ball 4 times for 15 yards. Chris Brown, how does he only get 3 carries?
Chase.
3 carries for 11 yards. I don't. Chase Brown.
Yeah. I think that guy ultimately takes over the running the RB1 position over Zach Moss, but that's a concern. The running game's a concern. I'm sorry, I don't care how good Joe Burrow is, but if you don't have a good running game, I mean, you're not going to succeed in this league. I mean, you can pass 45, 50 times in a game and maybe be able to squeak out a few wins in a slugfest. But Zach Moss and Chase Brown are going to have to be big for the Bengals.
I expected a lot more from Chase Brown. I thought he, Zach Moss might have been the starter, but I expected him to use Chase a lot. So again, for him to only have 3 carries, he did have 3 catches as well. But the Patriots, Ramondre Stevenson, 25 carries for 140 and a touchdown. So, yeah, man, New England just played solid. New England played an old school New England game, played solid defense, ran the ball. Jacoby Brissett did just enough, you know what I'm saying? Didn't turn the ball over.
But Byron had a take about Sirianni. I'm going to say that Taylor doesn't make it to the end of the year, bro.
This is what the Bengals do.
There's a lot of drama going on in Cincinnati, bro.
Yeah, I think his ass is on fire right now. That seat is really hot. Yeah, you think I'm laughing? He might not.
No. I mean, saying that's one of the more notorious cheap organizations too. So they probably figure the money they save on Zach Taylor they could give to Jamar Chase, and just hire a new coach that's younger and pay him less.
Yeah, there you go. An up-and-comer. All right,
Byron, any thoughts on that slop fest that was the Patriots and Bengals?
The Bengals got caught. This is what they do. At the end of the year, they're gonna get hot towards the end, like they always do.
I don't know how they get hot towards the end this year. Not with that fucking running attack. That 1-2 punch of Zach Moss and Chase Brown. Get the fuck out of here.
They'll be there. Don't worry.
I don't know. That AFC North is tough. Remember, we're looking at a Ravens team that's a top contender. Okay, a fucking Steelers team that always finds himself in the mix, no matter what. Okay, and who else am I? And the fucking Browns. I don't know. If the Browns can figure out Deshaun Watson and he stops fucking raping people, then maybe they can.
Allegedly.
Another sexual assault freaking thing.
Allegedly. We got to throw that word out there.
Bro, we're gonna get
That's a lot of allegedly for this one guy.
For legal purposes, allegedly. That is unfiltered Alex right there for you, boy. All right, let's move on to Texans Colts. Fire it out. You'll say let's just keep it moving. Texans Colts. This one was probably one of the better games of the day. You're saying the Houston Texans, everybody's sweetheart team that they love it on this year to make a big run in the playoffs. They win the game 29-27. The Colts struck first on a ridiculous 60-yard bomb that Anthony Richardson threw. You know what I'm saying? Falling back on his back foot and he showed off his cannon. That's what he's got. He's obviously fast. He can make some plays with his legs. He's gonna have to get a lot more accurate. 9 for 19, 212, 2 touchdowns, a pick, ran the ball 6 times, 56 yards, and a touchdown as well. CJ Stroud, 24 of 32, 234, and 2 touchdowns. The kid looked good. Stephon Diggs with a couple of touchdowns there. Houston did just enough to hold off the Indianapolis Colts. Again, I think this was one of the better games of the whole day. What do you guys think about Houston, Texas, and the Colts?
That's going to be a battle I look forward to, man. Another, divisional battle. I think those two teams are going to play each other well and play each other competitively each time they meet. But the Colts are going to have to get Jonathan Taylor going as well. What was Jonathan Taylor's stat line?
Jonathan Taylor had 16 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. What's that, like 2 point something a carry? I don't know.
That is 3 yards a carry. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. 16 totes with that many touches. I don't know how many reception catches or targets he had out of the backfield. But they're gonna have to get JT going, man. Because Anthony Richardson's great, but then again, you can't be relying on that too much, man. He's gonna get hurt again. You saw what he can do when he's got some time to throw the football, and even when he slips, he can still freaking airmail it. So it'll be some. Those are some matchups to look forward to, man. That division, I think, is going to be tough.
Yeah.
That AFC South is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We're going to go ahead and do a bit of a rapid fire here so we can get through the rest of these games because we do have a Monday Night Football game. And I got the producer in my ear telling me to hurry the hell up. So go ahead. We'll go Saints Panthers. The Panthers are absolute trash. Bryce Young, I'm sorry, Bob. I was hopeful that you would have a bit of a better year. And again, I know it's just week 1.
I know.
But oof, that kid did not look good at all. That whole team did not look good. I expected the Saints to win, but I didn't expect the Saints to completely spank them like that. But props to the Saints for handling their business, 47-10 over the Panthers. Do you guys got a quick word before we move on to the next one because that game was horrendous?
No, I think we'll give both teams a mulligan. We'll see what happens in week 2. I mean, it's a brand new head coach, Dave Canales over there at Carolina. I think Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, I think they can work together. I ultimately think Hubbard takes over Sanders' starting role. But yeah, they just got to be better. No sight of Adam Thielen. Was there anything for Adam Thielen?
Adam Thielen. Let's see. Adam Thielen, 3 catches, 49 yards.
Yeah, we got to do more with Adam Thielen. That's a good weapon there to use. So I don't know. I don't like.
The thing about it is the Saints jumped on them from jump. You know what I'm saying? So the Panthers had absolutely no shot. So it's not like they were able to establish a running game
They're
because
not a come from behind team.
right,
So.
yeah. The Saints just jumped on top of them and completely just stomped them out. We'll move on to Broncos Seahawks. This one here, the final score was probably a lot closer than it actually was. 26-20, the Seahawks win this game. Bo Nix making his debut here. Geno seems to do what he needs to do for the Seahawks. Their defense is good. Kenneth Walker's a stud for that Seahawks team. That I told you, we talked about it on our previous shows. That's going to be an interesting matchup when we go to Seattle to play that game. We better have our chin straps buckled tight and ready to play in that game against Seattle because they are going to that defense hits.
Johnny,
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Mark.
You're right, Mark.
Take from that game.
You could have told the brother. You could have told the brother and spared me. Being out after week 1. But all right, Broncos Seahawks. Quick thoughts on Broncos Seahawks before we move on to the next one.
Hey, I like Bo Nix. I think he can do well over there in Denver. And hey, Denver was able to hold DK Metcalf in check. If not for a conversion there with Tyler Lockett, I think on a big third down play, Denver's in that game. Kenneth Walker, you mentioned he played well. But man, I think the Dolphins can lock down a DK Metcalf. And put pressure on Geno, but our rush defense does have to contain a big back like Kenneth Walker III. So hey, good for Seattle, but I think Bo Nix will be just fine over there in Denver. And I like the kid a lot. So that's
Bo Nix 26 of 42, 138. Excuse me, 2 interceptions. That game was pretty close the whole way. I don't know why you had the young man throwing the ball 42 times.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? That's Sean Payton for you. But I like the kids upside. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what happens with a lot of these young quarterbacks. I mean, this is the whole draft class for the most part. I think this has the potential to be a good draft class, not a historic or great draft class, but I think each of these quarterbacks has the potential to be some good players in this league for years to come. We'll see what happens with that. We move on to our second to last one here. We got the Cowboys absolutely punking the Cleveland Browns. This is 33-17. Deshaun Watson is doo-doo. The Browns defense, you know what I'm saying? If they can't score themselves, they're going to have some problems. And Dallas's defense came to play. Dak did what he usually does. You know what I'm saying? They put up some points over there, but Dak 19 of 32, 179 and a touchdown. Not really, I mean, they didn't really have to do all that much, bro. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland was just that bad offensively.
Yeah. Cleveland could not get anything going.
And
maybe they need to call Joe Flacco again off the couch.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Byron's got the hot take already. So, Byron, I'll let you go ahead and say what you got to say about Cowboys Browns, so we can, we can go ahead and keep it moving and hit the last one. When does Jameis start?
Week 4.
After
their bye.
So you don't think they'll give Deshaun a look with Chubb when Chubb comes back off the PUP list?
That's why I said after their bye.
Okay, I don't know. I think I'm gonna say that too, man. If Deshaun doesn't show me something, because there's talent on this team.
Yes. And Njoku got hurt though, right? Was it a concussion or was it something more serious with David Njoku?
Njoku? I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah,
man.
something happened. He got knocked out of that game. I don't know if it was a concussion type thing or shoulder or neck or something like that. But yeah, there's way too much talent on that Cleveland team.
Hey, you have
to have your quarterback hold you down.
You have to ask yourself: did they give up on Baker Mayfield a little too early? I would take Baker Mayfield right now any day over Deshaun.
I think Baker needed he needed a change of scenery though. I think Baker needed a change of scenery. What's the breaking news?
Tony just signed with the Browns.
Who?
Kadarius Toney
just signed with the Browns.
Okay, so
That's
add like
great because that's
add like 50 more
exactly
slots to the receiving
that's
core.
exactly what they needed in that organization, in that locker room, was
Yeah.
another knucklehead like Kadarius Toney. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and I got $10 on Byron's prediction now for sure. You know what I'm saying? Jameis Winston is gonna be eating W's in a couple weeks. So we'll see what happens with that. As we
Jameis did?
Right.
Oh
As we
God,
transition to Jameis's former team, the Buccaneers at home against the Washington Commanders had themselves a nice victory. Mike Evans is, you're saying, like he's probably one of the more underrated players. He's a Hall of Famer. I don't care what anybody has to say. But Mike Evans with a nice big game there. The Bucs win it 37-20. Byron just said he out. So it's just me and Alex holding it down for this last game here. He didn't get a chance to talk about his boy. Jaden Daniels.
My bad.
Oh, he's back.
Jaden Daniels, of course, making his debut, 17-24, 184 yards. He carried the ball 16 times for 88 yards and 2 touchdowns. That scares me. The amount of like, you know what I'm saying, actual called quarterback running plays is worrisome. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you call a couple here or there and he scrambles and gets some yards, but there were a lot of quarterback designed run plays. That's worrisome. He's not the biggest kid, but I like his talent and his ability. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers were just too much. They are my pick to win the NFC South. And they showed it at home. I live down here in Tampa, so there was a lot of excitement for this Buccaneers team today. I had to hear from all these knuckleheads at work, being all proud of their Buccaneers. So, yeah, Buccaneers beating down the Commanders 37-20. You guys' thoughts on this last one before we wrap it up so we can watch some Monday Night Football?
Hey,
Baby Lamar.
Huh?
Baby Lamar.
I hope he's a better passer than Lamar, bro. I hope he's a better passer.
Right now, Baby Lamar.
Yeah.
But come on, man. Like,
that's not a bad comparison.
It's not, but again, I think they need to cut down on the.
Hey,
you're saying on the quarterback designed runs. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna run for over 500 yards this season. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just don't want him to. I don't want the same thing that happened to Anthony Richardson to happen to him. I don't want him because he's small. I don't want him to take that hit and then he's out half the season or something like that.
In the league now. You know, those pure pocket passers are few and far between now.
Yeah, I know, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? I get a scrambling quarterback, a quarterback that's mobile, but that's different than actually having designed run plays for your quarterback with all these quarterback sneaks and all these quarterback, sweeps and stuff like that. Like, that's a bit much, and he's still with the mindset of that he's in college and stuff like that, so he's not the best at sliding or getting out of bounds. He better learn that shit. He quick. He
played against some grown ass men in the SEC. Okay.
Yeah, I know. But even though half the league is full of SEC players, he still wants to. Say you better start sliding. You better start getting down before you get knocked the hell out. So, but I like that kid. I like his potential. I'm eager to see, how much better he can do for those Washington Commanders. But the Buccaneers are 1-0, along with the Saints in that division. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. So that's our recap of Week 1 of the NFL season. Again, our Miami Dolphins, of course, with a last-second field goal from Mr. Jason Sanders, with the best holder in all of football with Mr. Jake Bailey, who punted his ass off.
We gave him a lot of shit.
Punted his ass off. Yes, we gave him a lot of shit, but he punted his ass off. 4 inside the 20, 2 inside the 5. So he did what he had to do for us in that game. So you gotta, when they do good, you gotta give them their props. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have plenty of time to shit on them. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well give him his praise for the one game he had. What's up?
Things up.
Welcome to the show. To all the people out there, if you're new, hit the subscribe, smash that like button. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you know whenever we are going live. The Dolphin Chronicles every Monday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kendall Sports Network. False 9, all things Inter Miami, Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And this week in Miami with these two fine gentlemen right here, every Friday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Definitely check it out. We have a lot of fun. Buffalo is up next on Thursday night. Do you guys want to give a quick thought on the Buffalo game before we call this a night?
Man, I just hope we're all healed up. We're all healthy. We're not too banged up. You know, I know Jalen was dealing with a hamstring. You know, I think other than that, I don't know of any other injuries to report other than, you know,
Josh is
rest. What's that?
Josh is hurt. Josh Allen.
Butt hurt or what? What is he?
No. He injured something.
Yeah, I think his wrist or his non-throwing wrist or his hand or something like that. It's some bullshit excuse that they're gonna have if they lose on Thursday. That's all that is. Exactly. I don't trust that shit at all. Unless I see him with both his legs in casts. I'm still gonna worry about Josh Allen. But no, it should be a fun game on Thursday. Hopefully really our Dolphins can handle their business at home. You know what I'm saying? You know, not for nothing. Maybe it was a good thing that the Buffalo Bills came back and won that game against Arizona, because now they're not coming off of a loss with a sense of desperation. Maybe they come in here a little bit too giddy because they came back and won that game, and we catch them sleeping a little bit, and we handle our business, and we're ready to go, so that we can start off the season 2-0 with a division win against the Buffalo Bills. So it's going to be interesting to see. Any last thoughts before we get up out of here? Let the people know where they can find you, Byron.
At Paramount P on X.
Alex.
Right there, TX_TSB on X as well, guys. Hey, shout out to my boy, All-Pro Javon Holland, bro. What a game-changing play. Thank you, Javon.
Yes.
That was a 14-point swing, guys. Just remember the very next play, we took the top off the defense and Tyreke went for 80.
Yep. And just for all the Tua haters out there, it was on his second read, and it was a perfectly thrown pass. Right. He actually gave a little pump. You're saying he did that on both. He did that on that one, and he did that on the water one as well.
Yes.
So you guys want to keep trying to jump on that first read?
It was like the Waddle one flipped.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was shout out to Javon Holland. That was definitely the game changing play right there. But yeah, you can follow these guys on their social medias right there with them. I am Johnny Cruz. I am the Yankee Fin. You can follow me on all social medias. Again, this is the Dolphin Chronicles on the Ken Sports Network. For Byron and Alex, baby. I am Johnny Cruz. Dolphins are 1-0, baby. Fins up. Let's be out. Peace.